say it. Sup, y'all, it's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today, we're actually back. Did you show 1/10 of a dick for one frame, or what got you banned? So I made a whole video about this. I guess I'll just go ahead and explain what happened. Pretty much, there was some person, like, I was, like, not looking at the screen, because I was, like, getting up, I was, like, readjusting this, the same as I do all the time, right? And, basically somebody typed, like, some stupid shit into general chat. And like, chat does the thing that chat always does, where, like, they freak out about it. They're like, oh my god, he's typing this, look at this, look at that guy, oh my god, he's typing, right? And, like, whenever they do that, it gives that person, like, a sense of fulfillment, right? Because, like, now they're getting this, like, crazy reaction out of chat. And so I'm like, guys, who cares? Shut the fuck up, stop talking about it, right? Just move on, right? Because the more you give that person attention, the more they're gonna do it. Well, Twitch thought that whenever I said who cares, they thought that I'm like, oh, who cares about racism, you know? Because, you know, that's totally fucking normal, right? Is that, you know, it's like, even if I thought that even if I didn't care about racism, right? Why the fuck would I say that? Why would I say that on stream? Why wouldn't I just, like, how does that make any fucking sense? And so anyway, I got suspended for this, and it happened, like, instantaneously. It was like, I did it, and then within, like, 10 seconds, or not 10 seconds, that's too much, within, like, 10 minutes, probably no more than 20 minutes, for sure, I was suspended off the website. And so, I don't know how this happened. I mean, were they just sitting there waiting for me to fuck up? Was it actually a Twitch employee that was typing it and waiting for me to not respond in the adequate way? I don't know. I have no idea. And so anyway, I write an appeal. I write an appeal to Twitch, and I basically, it was you had 5,000 words, and I used 4,000 of those words to write this appeal, and the appeal was denied. And they said, we're not going to unban you. You fucked up. And I said, okay. And they send me a, I'll read it to you guys. I'll read it to you guys what they said. They said, hello, Zach Rar. Your account was recently suspended for unmoderated, hateful conduct. After reviewing the details of your case, we have decided that your account will remain suspended due to the violation of the community guidelines. Note, attempting to evade restrictions placed on your account may result in additional penalties up to and including indefinite suspension. So, that's what they told me, and so I made a video about this, and the video got a lot of views, and to be honest with you, everybody knows that I was right, and apparently so does Twitch, because they literally unbanned me. So basically, I write an appeal privately to them, and that appeal was pretty much the script for my video. Like, I'll just tell you, like, I said pretty much the same things in the appeal. Well, I didn't talk as much shit to them, to be fair. I left that out in the appeal, right? I mean, I try to be diplomatic. I'm trying to be a nice guy. What can I say? I try to, you know, like, why do that? And so, I write the appeal, I send it in, and nothing happens, so I have to make it public, and, then something's finally done about it. I find this to be very, unprofessional. Yeah, let's be honest, this is ridiculous, why this happens, and, it just sucks, man. It absolutely sucks. It really pissed me off, but, you know, the truth is, like, it's taken care of at this point. It's done. Thank you, Twitch, for seeing my side of things. I appreciate it. Let's move on now. So yeah, I mean, I got unbanned early, so at least that is some degree of an admission that I was not in the wrong. Do you see kind of what I'm saying here? And yes, I think that whoever made that decision is an absolute moron, and to be honest with you, they could have been making it because they're lazy and they just don't want to actually look at the context, or because they don't like me or something like that. I think the worst part about these things is that you'll never know. It's very important to make sure that you have the rules that are applied equally to everyone, because whenever they don't get applied, then, you know, people get pissed off. Now, of course, everybody is not equal, and so you do have some circumstances where that's not the case and it makes sense, but I think in most cases it does, and especially with things like this, it does. So I'm so fucking mad at it, trying to make you look racist? No, exactly, and that's why, the thing is, like, If it was like some other random thing, I would have made a joke about it and made like a funny video, right? Like a soda poppin' type ban video. But because this was like a serious thing that could make me look bad, I had to take it seriously. And it's unfortunate that that's the case. And I actually offered to Twitch, and I'll reiterate this, is that if they would like me to share some of the things that I found that people use to dog whistle discrimination, I'm more than willing to work with you guys at like giving you different ways to detect this kind of stuff that might be undetected. Different words, different types of commonalities, etc. Please go ahead and hit me up anytime, and I'll make time for you. And so anyway, because I do understand this stuff apparently better than they do. So hopefully they'll do that, and they'll actually end up trying to make the platform more hospitable to people that are in these minority groups, rather than just trying to appear to be. And so anyway, I'm not going to go too far into this. At the end of the day, Twitch, as I said before, has they have effectively repealed the suspension, at least as far as I know. So that's it, right? It's over, it's done, we're good, right? And wrong, the in-game chat's unmoderated, should be covered on stream. Well, I think that in-game chat actually is moderated. So, like, just based off of that premise, it's not true. It is moderated, and you can tell that it's moderated because the person went around there. Now, I think that if you want to use the argument that anything that occurs on your stream, because of the fact that if there's an option to turn something off, and you don't turn that thing off, you are, like, basically retroactively guilty for any action that a person takes. So, like, for example, if you play any FPS game with voice chat on and somebody says the N-word, that would logically still be your fault because you could turn off voice chat. You see kind of what I'm saying? So I don't think that that's a good way to do things. I think it's stupid. And I think the best way to handle it is, to be fair, the way that Twitch has been handling it generally, aside from this circumstance, which is if you have somebody doing that, don't pay it a lot of mind or attention. Don't reward it and talk about how funny it is or laugh at it. Just try to remove it if it keeps happening, and that's about it. So yeah, it's straight up stupid logic. Yes, exactly. And I think that really there are people that have like these like very, very like black and white definitions to rules. And you see that a lot of times that these simple definitions to rules, especially whenever you ask these people to explain themselves and further, the reason why they have simple explanations is because they're simple people. And the truth is that things are obviously much more complicated than that. Context is key, and I think that's why Twitch needs to have a better read on that whenever they make decisions. Reactive responsibility sucks. Yeah, exactly. It is avoidable, though. I think to a certain degree it is, but like what I'm saying is that if you want to use that logic, then I think that you can apply that logic to like a dozen other things that it's not applied to. So it's like a weird... It's like, okay, so if you block chat everywhere, then nobody can say it. Yes, that's true. Or you only play single-player games. Yes, that's true. However, if you engage in any multiplayer activity in which that activity leads to anything discriminatory, you would retroactively be guilty for that because you allowed it to happen in the first place. That's fundamentally what the logic is, right? So I don't think that's a good way to run the game, to run the website. I think any reasonable person can tell the difference between somebody, willfully promoting racism and discrimination versus somebody who just has some kid pop off. And I think also, again, these are like, this is like a middle school way of looking at things. This is clearly like, I told somebody at Twitch this, I'm like, I think Twitch treats streamers like middle schoolers, and sometimes it makes sense, right? It does, but at the same time, it's the intellectual dishonesty of it, and I think that once you start treating people like that, then they start acting like that, and I think that's really what it comes down to. Isn't that same stuff happening as RL streams? Lots of stupid bans happen there too. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of where I'm getting at, is that there's always going to be things that are out of your control, and I would argue that by opting into having any of those things happening, you are to some degree opening the door for that to occur. And I think that so the conversation should always be how quickly you shut the door whenever it becomes a problem, and also how you react to it. And so and also like, like what precautions you use in the first place. So it just makes sense in my mind. I think this is just common sense, logical thinking. And, you know, I mean, I understand it might be very comforting to look at things from a very black and white perspective because it doesn't make you have to think. But I don't think that's the way it should be done. That's about it. Now, since I banned you and people are trying to do it more, that's what the problem was. I think that was one of the big issues, is that whenever something like this works, it proliferates it. It gives that person a reward structure, because like now it's like, well, I type this and then nothing happens. Well, then why would I type it, right? But if I type it, chat gets mad, streamer gets banned, well, then I want to type it again because I can get a reaction out of it. You see what I'm saying? So it's very important to make sure that doesn't happen. And I really hope that Twitch makes sure that they try to avoid that as much as possible. Big streamer, it's easier for them to reach with a complaint. Smaller stream, yeah, I mean, you think about it, right? It's like if a smaller streamer had this happen, they would get suspended, and they would probably, like, unless somebody else, like, unless I reacted to their video or something like that, there might be a good chance that they never get this overturned. They're just fucked. And so I think it's really important to make sure that, like, moderation is on top of these things. And as I said before, I'm more than willing to set aside time for my day to help Twitch moderation better understand these things. And especially, not that they don't really know anything, but there are a lot of things that get by, and I think they don't even realize what they are. And so anyway, you're saying you didn't break TOS? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yes, obviously. What do you mean? Like, yeah, of course that's what I'm saying. And so, yeah, just automate whatever Twitch's appropriate response would be. Well, I think it's just that the truth is that whenever you have something like this happen, it's not something that can be automated. It's not something that you can just, oh, well, it's always like this, it's always like that. And so, yeah, you can't automate everything. You have to have actual people out there making decisions, and that's what makes sense. And so, yeah. And this wouldn't happen to small streamers because not people care about them for them to get enough exposure. No, you'd be surprised. It's like if 2 or 3 people send in a report at the same time, I bet Twitch is going to hear it. And what ends up happening, I think, is that Twitch sees these small streamers, and it's like some guy with like 20 or 30 viewers, and it's like if there's ever a question in their mind, this is probably what Twitch looks at, right? And like, I'm not saying this is what they should do. I think it's not what they should do, but I think this is what they do, is that they view a small streamer, right, as like, what is this person really providing to the platform? They have 30 viewers, who cares? So what they do is they just ban the person because they don't want to have a Kotaku article about how Twitch allows racism on their platform. And so it's basically like a cascading domino effect of intellectual dishonesty that causes everybody to have to act in a way that's fake. It causes everybody to have to act in a way that's not realistic, or it's not beholden to reality. It basically requires people to abandon common sense and then just act in a way that is coddling towards the most intellectually dishonest man-children on the internet. And I find it to be very annoying. I do. I'm tired of it, and hopefully, you know, my case is one of the last cases that happens. That's about it.